Here we go. Welcome to Getting It Done, a podcast about music, education, and life lessons. I'm your host, Tim Rausenberger. Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019. This is episode 269, Making Friends and Building Friendships. And I have to tell you, if you want to make friends, you need music like this. You will, well, maybe you'll make enemies. I'm not sure. But I know that I like this music a lot. And it's actually called, if you've ever heard of the X-Files before, this tune is called Y-Files. It's available on YouTube's free audio library, which is copyright-free music we can all use and all share. So thank you so much to the people for creating Y-Files. And thank you to everyone for being here tonight. I had a really crazy week, I think is probably the best way of putting it, but a very, very exciting one all the same. And I'm so happy that you're able to spend our Thursday night here with us. Before we get into tonight's episode, the first thing that I would like to say before I say hello to everyone here, next week's podcast, Thursday, April 25th, 2019, 7 p.m., don't you know, we are going to be live, but we are going to be doing our very first interview. We're doing an interview, and as I typed above, this is going to be an interview with Kyle Dubiel. That's how we pronounce his name. I'll just put that there, Dubiel, so we can get that pronunciation correct, because a lot of people make that mistake with his name. But Kyle is quite bluntly, he's really one of my greatest students of all time. I started teaching him when he was only 9 years old. He is now, sorry, Kyle, but I'm going to say it. He's now 22. He is a recent graduate of NYU, the Tisch School for the Arts, which is an extremely difficult school to get into because the competition is so stiff. They take very, very few applicants. And not only did he graduated early. That's how brilliant Kyle is. He's an amazing, amazing individual. And I think it's rather ironic because he's at the point now where I don't just consider him a student. I really, truly consider him to be a friend. I really consider him to be an amazing friend. Kyle is someone who has been working on his filmmaking career since at least 10, 11 years old was when he produced his first videos. If you want to see a really fun and funny video, you can check him out. He's also on YouTube. But Kyle has one of his first ones, which is still one of my favorites. I love it. It is The Man of a Million Doors. I believe that's what it's called. The Man of a Million Doors. If you check it out, it's utter brilliance for someone who's only 11 years old, what he does with the camera. And it's just funny because some of you are going to notice that he looks a lot like Macaulay Culkin. That would be the actor from, do you know the movie? Macaulay Culkin? Do we know Macaulay Culkin? Macaulay Culkin would be from the movie Home Alone. You know, the kid that does this face? Okay, Home Alone. So, yeah, he looks a lot like him when he's younger, and I think even when he's older now, he still looks a lot like him. But I have to say, he's really one of my dearest friends, and he really absolutely fits the bill for what we look for in our friendships with other people. So I'm so excited. Here's what's going to make it even more exciting. We're going to go, because we do things different here, because we're a different podcast. And that's why, yes, it's true. You did it. You did it. You did it. 300 subscribers. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's 300 people now that are subscribed to the channel. In order, of course, to qualify for some of the things that we do here for the live episodes, you need to be a subscriber. And I'm so thankful, so grateful to all of you. I had a woman actually, I shouldn't say woman. It was actually a student. Sorry, I dropped something there. Who actually is the llama person, somebody with the name Llama. So that was our 300 subscriber. That person, just for simply being the 300 subscriber, yes, we're doing a $10 Amazon gift card. You know, one of these, you know, when you get a really, really nice card, but then you open it up and, you know, you're saying to yourself, you know, is there money in there? Well, it might not be money, but there's definitely an Amazon gift card in there. That's what we do have going on. And for tonight's episode, the way that I like to do things, I'm one of those go big or go home type of thing. These literally just came in the mail today, just as proof that people do win things. We are not doing just one gift card tonight. We are doing 2 gift cards tonight. There we go. I got them in the picture. There we go. Doing 2 Amazon gift cards tonight. This one over here, I am officially doubling this one the $15 Amazon gift card, and this one is the $10 Amazon gift card. So good luck to you all later on tonight. Again, that is a random drawing. And of course, our 3rd gift card, thanks to our friends at Panera Bread in Secaucus, New Jersey, who totally hooked us up. We got a nice $10 Panera gift card. We've been giving those out last few weeks. They hooked us up with $50. That's right, $50 in various gift cards. So they are just amazing. They are the best. I can't encourage them enough. You may wonder, so you only see half of me. It's really hard with my camera setup and everything. Like, what is really going on, like behind the scenes, like what's around me and stuff. So I can kind of show you a little bit. I actually want to do this just, you know why? Because I feel like it right now, and because I can, because it's my podcast. So if you look over here, these are just a few of my CDs. Hello, I'm over here. Yeah, these are just a few of my CDs. This would be, I don't know, maybe 500-ish CDs or so. I have 8,000 total. And I ran out of room downstairs in my living room, so I had to get them up there. You may have also seen this is what I use to play my music. This is an Anchor, by the way, Anker. It's an Anchor. I think it's a Sport XL, and their stuff is great. Anything by Anchor is amazing. Their cables are incredible. I've never once had to return any of their products. And I also have a second cell phone. I have one cell phone that I use to communicate with Alice. Give it up for Alice. Everybody say hello to Alice. Alice, thank you as always for being so incredible. Noise. I agree. Noise. Yes, Alice, I communicate with her at times throughout the podcast with this fine, remarkable OtterBox protected phone. And we have a second phone, and the second phone is simply used to be able to play music and do other fun things. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. I want to own vinyl records. We need to say a few quick hellos here. We already talked about Kyle. We talked about the stuff here around my home and in my studio. So let's take a look at who's here tonight and joining us once again. Esther, loyal Esther, has returned again. Hello to Esther. Thank you for being here again. Looks like Rebecca has returned. Rebecca, thank you for coming back once again. That is tremendous. I'm so happy to see you again. Mr. Matt. Thank you, Matt. Saw Matt yesterday for a little while and had a really inspirational, fun time with him. So I'm so thrilled that Matt is here. We do know Watermelon Duck. Listen, Watermelon Duck, you're calling my music weird. You got the weird name there, yeah, interesting. And I am talking about the Watermelon Duck, not the other name. Yeah. All right. So that's the deal with that. Just nice, as faithful as they come at every single episode, which is great. ISM Loke. Hello. Good to see you. Who else is here? Who else decided to drop by? Natalie. Hi, Natalie. How are you? I know a lot of Natalies, actually, but, I have to be a little bit prejudiced. This Natalie is really, really special because she is one of my amazing colleagues and really, very, very underrated, I think is a great way of saying it. And one of the finer teachers I've ever met in my career. So Sparkle Lest, hello, Sparkle. Good to see you tonight once again. Yes, she's here. Yes. Okay. A good friend of yours has 40,000 songs on an iPod 4. That is incredible. I find that to be amazing, Matt. Thank you for sharing. I do have a custom-made iPod. That is also true. I'll try to bring that into one of the episodes. My custom-made iPod can hold, I think it's over 100,000 songs. I had that made several years ago, and I still use it from time to time. But you know what? You didn't come here just to hear me blab. You came here because you want to learn all about this episode and all about different ways that you can make friends and ways that you can build your friendships. And what I mean by that is, now that you've become friends with the person, what do you need to do to maintain that relationship, maintain that friendship with the other person? And we're going to talk about that tonight. This is something I've gone through many different, I don't know if I would call it cycles, maybe cycles of my life, in which I've had different categories of friends. I think it's the best way to possibly put it. One of my favorite inspirational speakers, I'm going to type his name until I'm blue in the face, Les Brown. Les Brown, one of the things that he talks about is having your friends in different categories. And yes, it's possible to do that. He would talk about his friends that he hangs out with, but they only will talk sports or watch sports, and that's all they do. They do nothing else. He has another group of friends where the only thing that they do is go out to restaurants, maybe grab a drink here and there, but they may have specific rules where they don't discuss certain types of things that are controversial, like politics, like religion. I know my own family, there's someone in my own family who actually goes to a wonderful group every single week, a group of friends that just get together. And they actually have rules. They have rules where there are certain topics that are not open for discussion. So you can have different types of friends. I have people in my life that are extremely, extremely close to me, near and dear. I have people, and we're going to talk about these types of friends too, people that if you are dying, if you are on the side of the road, like yesterday, I had a flat tire. It is what it is. It was an awful day. It was not just the whole day was just not a good day, but and somehow or another, I was not negative. I was in a very good mood still, despite all of it. I got to say there was one particular group I wasn't too happy with, but you know what though? They were pretty good to me today, so I'm not going to badmouth them here. But at any rate, when I was here, I am on the side of the road and I'm contacting my friends, and you find out who your friends are, and and I know the people that I reached out to, they were totally, completely there for me. And that's the type of person you call up at midnight. That's someone you call up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You have an emergency. That's the friend. That's the type of friend that you go to your doctor and you don't have a family member near you, or you don't have enough family members near you, and that's the person you put down as your emergency contact in case something happens. That's a true friend. Okay, so that's you have those friends. You have friends that are closer to being acquaintances. I think that's a good way of thinking of it. The type of people that you're really not that close to, and you may or may not really be interested in being that much closer to them. Unfortunately, and here's one of the things that happens, because it's life. It's something that happens. I'm going to go through phases of your life where you're going to be extremely, extremely good friends with people depending on where you are. Now, a lot of that has to do with your environment. So you have to understand that if you're in an environment where you're around a lot of people, you have an increased chance, a greater chance of being able to meet new people and make new friends. It's really that simple. And if you have a situation where, for instance, let's say you are a student in a school or you work in a school, if the school is sizable, then, and you're a teacher, then you have the opportunity to be able to make friends. And that gets interesting too. Like, I have my friends at work that are absolutely they're just work colleagues, and I get along with them great. They're wonderful people, but they're not people I really hang out with outside of school. Maybe if we run into each other, we plan some type of special teachers event or something of that nature, then that might be a different story. Then perhaps we would be hanging out as more friends outside of work. So I have my friends at work. Then I have friends at work who I actually do hang out with, and people that I see on a regular basis outside of school. Then I have others that I talk to regularly, but I really don't see them regularly. So you have different classifications of friends. And so if you think about it, I have hundreds, if not thousands of, I guess you can call them friends, but some of them I haven't talked to in a really long time. And there are people that, quite frankly, they're the types of people where I don't really know them that well. I may have not really known them that well. And I say to them very straightforward, listen, just kind of wondering, we are Facebook friends or your friends or whatever, but I don't ever hear from you. Do you still want to be friends? And I do ask that question at my age, because quite honestly, I don't want trolls in my life. I don't want people that are following me around. It's bad enough that we have the ability to be able to look people up and check things out online. But I certainly don't want people accessing my private information on social media such as Facebook. So you have to certainly be aware of that. I know that a lot of people get very offended at the unfriend thing that can happen on Facebook. But again, if you should not be ever in a situation, if you're friends with someone, you should not be having to give of yourself all the time and not get anything in return. That means you're always there for the person, but they're not there for you. That's not a friend. That's someone who's taking advantage of you. That's someone who's taking advantage of your kindness. And that's happened to me, unfortunately, a lot in my life. And it happens. It is what it is. And we have to learn from it. And we have to understand that people are all that people tick in different types of ways, and they have different types of motives. The true reason, unfortunately, some people decide to become friends with others, not necessarily the nicest reasons in the world. So before we even have those friends, we need to figure out, how do we make friends? How do we make friends? So what we're going to do now is talk about 6 different things that I've identified as being really, really important. Actually, I think I can actually say 7. The first thing to making friends is very, very, very simple. It's really a simple thing, and there's so many people who don't do it. Number 1, you need to smile. You need to have the ability to be able to have a smile. And sometimes it'll be a fake smile, and that's not the worst thing in the world. But when you do that, when you just simply smile at another person, it almost always makes the other person feel good. Now, if you don't want to do a no, I'm not going to make that face again. But you don't want to do a creepy smile, okay? But at the same time, you certainly want to smile. Now, I am a little more cognizant of my smile, unfortunately, because I have that tooth issue, which I'm very happy to say we are going to be taking care of that very, very soon. One more time just for Esther. All right, that's the end of that. No more. Not going to make that face ever again. Okay, so it's really, really important that we do smile, and because that really emits a lot of positive vibes. The second thing that you can do, which is interesting in terms of being able to make friends, is very, very simply reconnecting with someone. I am very happy and very proud to say that Rebecca is a wonderful friend. She is. It's just the way that she is. She's always been an amazing person. We both went to college around the same time. She graduated, I don't know if it was before or after me. I can't really remember. It's not important, because what was important was the time that we spent together. And she's always been just this very, very special person. And it's funny because we lost touch for a really, really long time. And sometimes we lose touch with people, or we maybe lose the friendship because of bad terms or anything. Really was never the case for Rebecca. It's just that people graduated after. Okay. People have to move on. They have different stages of their lives. And I moved on, and I went on to teach in New Jersey, and she was still, we went to school in Pennsylvania together, and she was in Pennsylvania, and not important all the different places she was, because we're not here to talk about her personal life. That's not right to be doing. But what I'll say is that when I reconnected with her, it was amazing. It was as if we'd never stopped talking. We just reconnected immediately. And I have to say, remarkable, because such a similar personality, really not much different than the Rebecca that I knew many years ago. So how incredible is that you actually can just simply reach out to someone. You could also have the opposite, where you go to reach out to someone and you find out, oh my goodness, okay, that's not something somebody I want to be hanging out with. And unfortunately, that's been the case with some people as well, where I've had to make the decision. I don't think so. This probably wasn't the best. I can think of a few people that I was really, really good friends with, and unfortunately, I do know like where they're at the stages in their lives, and it's really not beneficial to either one of us to try to uh, reclaim that friendship. So that's one thing that you can certainly do. Number 3 is very, very interesting, and it's going to be an interesting way to be able to find out if you actually can make a friend, be friends with someone. So it's very easy. Ask someone for a favor. Ask someone for a favor. It could be anyone. Just ask them to do something for you, whatever that something is going to be, and see if they do it. See how quickly they do it. I asked a lot of people to do different types of favors for me, having to do with the podcast, having to do with very, very simple things relating to my career. And I had people who came through and then some. I had some people who responded but didn't follow through. I had people who didn't respond and of course didn't follow through. So it can be a very, very challenging thing. It can be very difficult when you are trying your very best to do everything that you can to give that person the opportunity, to give that person the chance to be in your life, or for you to be in their life, and or his or her life, I should say. And it's unfortunate when people are not willing to do that for you, but you can have situations where you just ask someone to do something for you. It could be in a restaurant or something, and the next thing you know, you start up a conversation and you realize that you have all these different things that you have in common, and it's amazing the things that can happen. Which is now the next one I'm going to go into, which is number 4. Find things that you have in common. What similarities do you have? If you can find people that you know like the same music as you, you're off to a good start. I can't tell you how many friends of mine have gotten married over the friendship that started and then blossomed into their relationship and then into a marriage. And it all started with musical tastes. So that's a really big thing. And you need to know what their other types of tastes are. Are they the type of people that are social butterflies? Are they people that are more introverted? They are more quiet into themselves. Are they people that might be interesting because they may be very opposite you, in terms of they may be very outgoing, you may be very quiet, but they may be the perfect friend for you, because there are some things they have in common, or they may not have that many things in common, but they have so much respect for you, the things that you do. And I have a lot of friends now in my life where that's the case. They have things where I just bow to them and say, like, you are the king, you are the queen of what you do. And I think I kind of do okay in this music thing too. But wow, I mean, some of the friends that I have now, we are very, very different. But the one thing we do have in common is we all teach, and we have maybe have different teaching styles. I have music teacher friends who are incredible, but they are teaching methods. The way that they approach the classroom, they approach the student might be drastically different than the way that I do it. And it doesn't make them wrong by any stretch. It doesn't make me wrong. It just makes us different. And that's what makes us special in that way, because we're all different. So find the things that you have in common, and that's going to certainly help you in some type of way. All right, we're going to go now to number 5. And number 5 is easy, and it's great because it's free. Volunteer. Here's the thing with volunteering. If you're volunteering your time, then that means that there's something in you that is special and you have a really big heart. Well, if you're doing that, then think about all of the other people out there who are also volunteering, wherever they are. They probably have pretty big hearts themselves. Unfortunately, there are going to be some people who are volunteering and they're doing it for selfish reasons. That will happen. But more often than not, if you're at some type of gathering, you're at some type of function, and more importantly, not even just, I think the important thing is that when you're volunteering, you're there for the same cause. So there's probably something that drew you there, which draws them there, which means that you may have something in common with them. Unfortunately, we can sometimes tend to judge people and judge friendships by appearance. And that's not something that we want to do. And I don't want to get into the negativity tonight, but that's the last thing you want to do, is be judging someone and deciding to have a friendship with someone by the way that they look. It's really ridiculous, because unfortunately their true colors are going to come through. And I'm not saying true colors meaning in a bad way. Their true colors meaning the true self, that the person that they are. And unfortunately, you may not really like who that person is. So I think that that's also equally important. But volunteering is a wonderful way. Things that you could volunteer for: feeding the homeless. Such an easy thing to do. It doesn't cost any money. Takes some time. Everybody's there for a common cause for the good, for the betterment of humankind. All wonderful, wonderful reasons. All right. Number 6. This is an interesting one, and I have to kind of explain this. I don't like ones that I have to explain, but I do have to kind of explain this a little bit. So this one has to do with attending regular meetings or events. All right. So what does that mean exactly? That means that you go to some type of event on a regular basis. The event could be something like perhaps senior citizens who go to a bingo hall. Now, some of them go because they need to play bingo. And if you've ever been to a bingo hall, it's intense. Okay. For my friends out there who like to play Uno, I know my students are very, very competitive when it comes to Uno. They are so competitive when it comes to Uno that they get rather upset when the draw for wild card comes out. And I have to do that right now. Just a little bit of a trigger for some people. There we go. The draw for wild card. Yes, we know how we react when that comes out. Well, let me tell you something. You don't ever want to call out bingo when you don't have it. Bad move. Really bad move. You better have that bingo. And I'm going to type this in because I don't want to forget to do it, because there are few videos funnier on earth than the Impractical Jokers, the 4 guys from Staten Island who have been best friends. How ironic. Been best friends since youth. And one of their classic episodes is the bingo episode, in which one of the 4 of them goes into a bingo hall. And goes into a bingo hall at a casino of all places. And that's really, really competitive. Really competitive. And they have to, yeah, you guys, you've seen that one. Okay. So one of them goes in there and proceeds to have to, he's punished, and he has to keep calling out bingo when he doesn't have it. And the problem is that his bingo card actually is shown up on the screen, so people can clearly see he's not even close to having bingo, and he really irritates everyone. And it's just a really great moment. But it's not so funny, because it really does happen. I've been there. I went there when my first chance I was able to play bingo, and I went with my grandmother when she was still with us, and I enjoyed it to a point, but I saw how competitive people were, and I didn't love that component of it. But you know what, though? I will say my grandmother, some of her best friends were at bingo. And I know that part of that was that she just really loved the game. She was very much just into gaming in general. But she didn't want to miss bingo. And I understood later on, it really wasn't about like gambling or anything like that. It was really about her friendships. Her friends were there. And that's why she needed to go. She never said that, but I figured that out after the fact. So that's something that's really important, something that can kind of draw you together. I've known people before who have gone to AA meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous, and they become extremely good friends because that's a support group, of course, and there are other types of support style groups that you could go to, and then you have other types of places that you could go where you can. They're just places to gather, and I'm not talking necessarily about a town hall or a town hall meeting or where the mayor is getting together with the council. That's not really what I'm talking about. That's really not a social, more of the social end of things, a little more business like. I'm talking about possibilities where you'll be able to make friends with people. So those are definitely events that you want to consider. But number 7, I think, is the key. I think number 7 is the key. And I like to credit number 7 with probably a big reason that I think a lot of students find me to be friendly. And you need to really think about this. You need to be kind and approachable. It's not enough to just be kind. There are a lot of kind people in the world. Problem is that a lot of people are kind, but they don't get themselves out there. And you can you could be kind, but if you're walking around all the time like this, and you're not kind, you have no bad intention, you're not in a bad mood. Sometimes people can even misread me because I can have a really serious face. Like, for instance, I'll just give you my typical face when I'm working. Okay. It's a pretty serious face, and people know that I'm really, really deep in thought. And sometimes people will even say, sometimes they'll misread me and say, "Are you mad?" And they get concerned about that. But the truth is that I've made myself so approachable to people in general. And we're going to talk about building the friendships in just a moment, and the components that go into that. So now the question I have for you, and uh, Alice, if you can do your wonders here, Alice, would be so helpful if you have any questions here that you could text to me and let me know that I've possibly missed. But if anyone could even paste their questions again, that would be very helpful. And in any types of ways that you find are helpful in making friends with other people. So anything that you have out there that you want to add, positive vibes, I see that in there. I think that's absolutely critical. I think it's so important when you establish your real friends and know who those real friends are. That's very, very good. Rebecca said earlier, common goals and beliefs. Fantastic. Because here's the thing, and this happened to me, I don't know what it was, about a year ago, who's someone I was getting to know very, very well. And we had a lot of things in common. A lot of things in common. Unfortunately, there was a really, really big thing involved, which was a very, very, very strong belief that I had about something. I'm not going to say what it was. The other person couldn't have been more opposite. Opposite to the point that it was going to actually get in the way of any potential friendship we were going to have. And it just, we hadn't crossed that bridge. And I have had to learn since that when I've decided to kind of go a step further and decide that I want to get closer to a person and build that type of relationship, I really have to have an idea of where they stand with things. And I'm kind of subtle and kind of careful. You don't want to just, bluntly say, what religion do you practice? Or do you believe in God? Uh, Not necessarily the best way of going about doing it. You can probably ask different types of questions to find that out. What are your political beliefs? And do you like Trump? Did you like Obama? Did you like any of the Bushes? Did you like Clinton? And going on and on. I don't know if that's always the best way to go about things in terms of core goals and beliefs. I think you have to be careful when you're going about doing that, and especially if you do have a friend that who is important to you, who you don't want to lose as a friend, but you know that they're a little bit fragile for whatever type of reason, then you want to be careful about not bringing that topic up. And by the way, if you really have a great friend, I'm going to give you some advice right now. A really, really, really good friend does not do the following to another friend. Do not, and I've been guilty of this before. If there's something that can wait until tomorrow, that's serious, that's the type of thing that's going to upset your friend, not to the point where you're going to lose the friendship. I'm talking that something's going to upset the friend. Can you please not bring it up late at night? Can you please not bring it up later in the day? Regardless of what their mood is, whether they're in a good mood, a bad mood, or whatever the case may be, don't bring that up. If it's something that can be discussed the next day or discussed in the future, just don't do it at 11 o'clock at night, because what's going to happen now is you have brought it up and it may not bother you very much, and you can be able to function all cylinders with no problem at all. The other person may not be able to. It may be very, very hard. And I feel really good about myself where I am in my life, where there are very, very few things that a person can say to me where I feel like they are going to completely change everything about. There's really very, very few things that someone's going to be able to say to me that are going to totally rock my world, and I won't be able to think straight. I won't be able to sleep. I'm just not at that stage. But there are a lot of friends I have who they would not be able to sleep very well. It's not a nice thing to do. And that's a way that you can actually erode your friendship. So, and what Alice says, then your friend is left with that thought all night. And they're stuck all night with that. And they didn't have that originally there. So you really have to think about that. Let's see what else we have here. So Matt and Sean are talking here about being super serious when playing the trumpet, and Sean went on and talked about how super serious they are and how they don't mess around, how it taught them discipline. Very, very true. And you have to kind of switch those different types of modes. I know Matt. I teach Matt trumpet, and I know he's very, very serious when he plays. He takes his craft very, very seriously with what he does. Rebecca, outstanding French horn player. When I knew her in college, and serious as anything. We actually were in a brass quintet together, and we had a lot of fun. But when we had to work, and we were all friends. We got along extremely well with one another, but it was business. I mean, it was serious stuff, because you know what? Life is serious. People say, oh, no, life's not that serious. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's serious. It's serious when you bring up some type of situation that's sensitive to someone else. Yeah, it just got real. It got real serious. So think about that type of stuff. Think about those types of things before you say it. All right. We're going to move on here and talk about building relationships, building our friendships. And what I mean by that is, you now have the friendship. How do you keep it? And what are the things that you need to do to make sure that the person knows that you're true, and hopefully be someone who's going to be there for you at any given time? The first thing, which I think is imperative for any type of friendship, and this is something I try to do as often as possible, keep in frequent contact. There are too many people out there who do not have an excuse for being able to stay in touch with other people. And I'm at the point in my life, I'm sorry, but if I send a person a text and they don't respond, I do not get offended. I absolutely do not get offended, because you know what? Somebody might be very, very busy with what they have going on in their life at that time. I don't do very well when I've now sent you a series of messages, a series of texts, a series of communications, phone calls, smoke signals, whatever the case may be. and you're not responding. Yet, I do know for a fact you're alive. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with you because you're able to communicate with other people. So, what is that now telling me about our friendship? So, keeping in frequent contact, because in the end, you will not come out of that type of friendship being the jerk. Because if that person's incapable of doing that, and unfortunately, I had some not so pleasant situations not too long ago where I had some people I had to say, listen, what's up? Like, I mean, we were really good friends. I haven't heard from you in a while. And these are people I knew many years ago. These not recent. And I said, hey, what's going on? And they weren't responding. I said, listen, with all due respect, we had to discontinue this. This is done. We're just, I guess, acquaintances. If you want to give me a ring another time, but that's unfortunate. So make sure you keep in contact and just keep in some type of contact. And make sure that you keep in frequent contact. Number 2 goes along with the whole premise of, is that person going to be there for you at your darkest time, at the late hour? It's simple. 2 words. Be there. Be there. You need to be there for your friends. Now, you have to be careful with this because you cannot put yourself in a situation where you are there and you find yourself being there for them all the time, but they're never there for you. Now, that's not healthy. I know of a few students over the years who have told me, yeah, I was helping out my friend with her relationship. Okay, so the relationship with their significant other. I was helping them with the relationship. I said, okay, yeah, that's why I didn't get X, Y, and Z done. Okay, yeah, because I was up all night. And I said, what's all night? Oh, we were on the phone for 6 hours, or we were texting for 8 hours. That's crazy. And remember, you're not talking about things with each other. You're talking about things, you're talking about helping someone with a situation, not for 6 to 8 hours. That's a long time. And it's one thing if you're married to someone or you have a very serious relationship, that's different. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just a friendship here. And yeah, you could have those conversations. I have friends I talk to now that I can talk to for hours a day. Several friends. We can just get on the phone and we can start talking for an hour and a half. I prefer the phone thing. I'm not really into texting as conversations. Me personally, I'm just the type of person. I've always felt that adults should have conversations over the phone and not have extensive conversations through text. That's just me. That's the way I am. I don't think it's an old school thing. I just think that's the way that things should be. And I think that our world would be a better place if more people would just talk to each other. Stop the texting. There's no vocal inflection with texting. The vocal inflection is not there for all my singers. We talked about diction recently and how important it is to enunciate words. You cannot enunciate your words and put a special type of tone behind your words and be all wacky when you're just texting. But you need to be there for the person. And if it means you have to text them because it's a late night hour and someone's going to get in trouble because someone's in the other room and they may wake up, totally understandable that you may need to text them for a while. But be there. That's so, so important. A real friend is there. And like I said, when I had my situation yesterday and I had my flat tire, and I was stuck on the side of the New Jersey Turnpike. And I'll tell you right now, if you know the New Jersey Turnpike, that is not a place you want to be broken down at all. Very, very unsafe. And I had 3 different friends who reached out to me and said, where are you? I'm coming to you right now. That's a friend. I didn't ask. They just said it. And it's one of those types of things that you may or may not be able to. You at least say, if I didn't have this right now, I would so be there for you. Just say something like that, because that alone is showing that you do care. And it's not just lip service. And even if it is lip service, you're still saying it anyway. It's probably a lot more than some they're hearing from some of their other friends. And then I think about, the 10-ish people or so that I reached out to about the flat tire, and they didn't say a thing to me yesterday. And it's not like I'm not going to be spiteful about it, but yeah, I mean, I had a lot of downtime. I really could have used some people to talk to. And luckily the friends I do have in my life and who did respond to me were there to help me out. So I appreciate it. Number 3, in building your relationship. I don't know how to spell. Well, I'm having spelling issues tonight. Ask questions. You need to ask questions. You need to ask the other person different things. This does not mean asking every single component of their personal life. That's not what I'm talking about. It's asking them simple questions. This isn't hard, folks, and it's going to make you feel good. I go up to a person at my job. What do I say? Hey, how are you today? Not, hi. No. Hey, how are you today? How are you? How's everything going? And everybody who knows me around the school. And that's, I think just that alone, people will look as being friendly. How ridiculous. What is that all about? Why don't more people do that? I don't have an answer for that. And I don't really think that I deserve any type of special prizes. I don't get it. I don't understand what's so difficult about simply saying hello to someone. I had a colleague so many years ago. Great guy, quiet, introverted, very, very introverted, sarcastic, really funny, but didn't really totally open up unless his friends were really, really close to him. And when he would walk around school, there's no exaggeration here. He wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. He wouldn't say hello to anyone. Now, he's not a mean guy, but when he would walk down the hallway, he'd have his head down the whole way. And unfortunately, and it's sad, but people made fun of him. And it was not fair because they didn't know him. But at the same time, the vibe that he was kind of setting off and the way that he was presenting himself, he wasn't letting anybody get to know him. And that's okay. But you have to understand, if you're wondering why people are not being friends with you, you have to look inside yourself. Because in order to do that, and I was going to say 4 things, but number 4, here's one of the biggest ones that you're probably going to have to do. And it may take you to be the one to do it. You may need to change. I've had to change. The type of person that I was when I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, right after college for several years before I landed my first full-time teaching position, getting the teaching position, then being involved in community bands and community choruses and semi-professional courses, semi-professional bands, professional gigs and performances of all different types, shapes, and sizes. I've changed. I've had to figure out different things. One of the things I teach my students, the most basic concept, and why people would know this is completely and totally beyond me. And I have to give a huge shout out to Annette. I'm so happy Annette is here tonight. It's wonderful. And, you know, I look at certain students that will come in and out of the chat here, and I've taught a bunch of them just how to shake hands. And that's so important to be able to make a connection with someone. So you have to change. You have to be willing to do that and look inside yourself and say, you know what, I messed up and I need to do better. And if I want this friendship, then I have to do something within myself. But if you look inside yourself and realize that there's really no change necessary, and you really know in your heart of hearts, you know, this is me. It's who I am. And I'm not changing these parts of me, then don't. You should be true to yourself. You should not be completely radically changing yourself for another human being. That is ridiculous. And that happens all too often. That, unfortunately, it's a little more reserved for relationships than it does for friendships. But I can't tell you how many times people will try to change themselves. No. You be yourself, but you may need to change some of your approaches. That's all that I'm saying. And when you're in certain types of environments, there are environments that I go into where I can be the life of the party. I can be the most vibrant person in the room. But there are other times in which I am quiet, totally quiet, like a just fly on the wall. And I just observe and I just take it in. I use my 2 ears because in the famous words or the infamous words of Judge Judy, God gave you 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. And I learn a lot about people and friends by listening. Now that's going to tie into the next one. And hello to Kay. How are you, Kay? I'm so glad that you were able to make it tonight. It's wonderful to see you. This is the number one change I made in my life. And I'm telling you, if you do this in your friendships that you currently have, it's going to be great. You're going to have more friends than ever, and the friendships are going to be really, really strong. And the people who you're not close friends to, but you're even just acquaintances, they're going to think you're the best. Show interest in them. Today was the last day before we went on to spring break. Woot, woot. That's right. I'm on spring break. It's true. 10 and a half days, not 10 days, 10 and a half days spring break. Thank you very much. And some other people in this room as well, in this chat. Before I left the school, I made sure to let all of my students know to have the most amazing break. I did as much as I possibly could before they all vacated the building. Every single person I went up and said Happy Easter to them, because some of them, Easter is a very, very important holiday. And it's just a nice thing to say. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever the case may be. Happy birthday. Really, really important. Show interest in the other person. Do you know who some of my favorite people are to talk to? Mothers. More importantly, single mothers. And I'm going to tell you why. Single mothers, there's a case that can be made that they have some of the hardest jobs in the world. And a lot of times they just need someone to talk to. If you just express some interest, that's the best way. Think about it. If you know someone who is a single mom, what are the types of questions that you would say to them? What are the types of things that you would do to engage them and get them involved in, and just be able, and it's not about it's not about them letting down their guard and telling them everything that, about every single personal component. But at the same time, people in the end, I don't care what people say. This is just a fact. Everyone in the world wants to be cared for, and everyone in the world wants to be loved. And that's just a fact. And there are a lot of people there who are lonely out there, but they don't know how to be just friends and be able to approach that. And that's why I do this episode tonight. It's something that I take very, very seriously. For some people, it's really, really hard to do some of these things. There are people who have medical and mental conditions that it's just really hard to be able to just go up to someone. They can get so incredibly nervous, and then they think that they think so negatively. What's the person going to say? And what if they think badly of me, and they don't like me? I mean, look at this. If you think about this, and this is true, there are people in this chat who have gotten to know each other by way of the chat. How cool is that? That's great. And the fact that I know that every Thursday night at 7 p.m., you can come into this chat and you can just have an hour where you can just forget about everything that's going on in the world. Forget it all. And you get to be with people who obviously care. They wouldn't be here if they didn't care. You are my faithful ones. You're the ones who decided to make that commitment. And I thank you, not just for that. I thank you for bettering yourself. You are becoming a better person just by listening to this. This has nothing to do with me. Nothing. I had a student And I could see it too. I could see her feeling this way. Who said earlier in the year that there were some times where I could come off as being arrogant. And I said, no, it's confidence. And they said, no, it's arrogance. And kind of went back and forth and agreed to disagree. But I think the important thing is that I am really confident in what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying is correct. But here's what I do know. You came here with open eyes and open ears to take into consideration all this advice. And hopefully now you're better for it. Actually, not hopefully. You are better for it. And I'm proud of you. And I do care about you. And I love all of you because you're spending this night with me. It means a lot to me. Before we continue, what I'd like to at this time just ask, Alice, have I missed any questions here tonight? Are there things that need to be sent to me? I'm just checking my phone here to see if I have missed anything. It looks like I have. Yes, I have missed a few questions. So I'll get to some of those. Do any of you have any other types of questions? A lot of other things that you would like to talk about tonight relating to friendship? Okay, anything whatsoever. Some of the different things have been great. If you look at like Rebecca, for instance, gave some really, really nice advice to Sean here. If you talk about Matt and some of the things he's talking about healing emotionally and rebuilding their trust and love in you, that's important. So I'm going to address this question, and this one came from Sean. And the question, I guess, was asked a little bit earlier, and it says, kind of hold this up so I can kind of give you a little more eye contact or close to it. Put the phone over here. Yeah, maybe that'll work. No. Did that work? Is that better? All right. So my friend and I got into an argument. She stopped being my friend. Now that we made up, she still thinks of me differently. Is she still the friend I met last year, or did she lie the whole time? Is she being fake, or is she hurt still from what happened? Ask her. That's my frank advice with you. If you want to know some of the questions, the answers to the questions here, that's what you got to do. Just ask. And say, listen, things are different, and it's okay, but are you just a lot different now, or do you have different crowd that you hang out with, or different people, or different interests? People are not going to be your best friends for the rest of your life. I hate to break it to you. That forever is not always forever. I've had many forevers in my life, whether it's been what I thought with my job, whether it's been my friends, whether it's been my singing career, whether it's been interests that I've had that I've changed throughout the course of my life. Things change. People change. I value my time now more than anything. So the people I enjoy talking to the most are people who value my time. Don't waste my time. That's my biggest thing. I just got off the phone with a company. They wasted a lot of my time today. Yesterday, another company wasted a lot of my time. That was my main thing. Now, that had nothing to do with friendships, but I'll tell you this much, though. If the friend is only calling you up just to complain every 2 seconds, I don't know about that. But they don't want to listen to your concerns? Not so sure. So, Sean, I think that the best thing I can say to you is I think you just need to talk to the person just really directly and just ask them. Just ask them. Instead of trying to figure out with other people, just be direct. And based on your personality, from what I've seen in here, I get this idea. I think you are able of being very, very direct. All right. Sarai, and that is how we pronounce her name, Saraih Cruz, says, what would you do about people who are toxic, but you still hope for them to change and be your friend? I don't have very good news for you. If they're toxic right now, they're going to remain toxic. I hate to tell you. That may change, but it really, really isn't your place to be changing them. Now, if this is somebody who you've been with for a long time, then that's different. I'm not going to lie. I had a situation a few weeks ago. I was pretty upset. And one of my friends, I contacted her, and wonderful, wonderful friend. And and what had happened was a lot of the conversation was not by phone because of her situation at the time. A lot of it had to go through text. And she said to me bluntly, she said, Tim, she said, look, if you don't want to do this particular thing anymore, not the podcast, it was something else, but if you don't want to do this particular thing, there was this thing that was really bothering me. It was bothering me a lot. I said, I don't know if I should do this. And she just said, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But, you don't want to be wasting your time. Don't waste my time. She was right. She's absolutely, totally, completely correct, and used my words against me. So that's something to think about. So if the person's toxic right now, I would probably say to stay away and just strengthen the friendships that you have with other people. And Sarah added to the question here, what if you help friends more than they're willing to help you? That's normal. That's completely and totally natural. You're going to have friends that you're willing to help more than they help you. There's nothing wrong with that. What I would say is wrong is when the person is only remaining friends with you just to be able to get advice from you only. That's it. But they're never there for you. They're never there to help you out in your times of need, in your times of struggle. Every single time that you need them, they have an excuse for you. Then you'll know exactly where you stand. But willing to help friends more than willing to help you, listen, and I'm not saying this in any type of arrogant way at all, but if you have me as a friend, I'm true. I'm really true. And my friends know that about me. I reach out to them all the time. At the very, very least, I will send a text with some positive motivation, some positive vibes, a simple hello. That is everything. You're reaching out. You're keeping in touch. Do some of my closest friends always do that with me? They don't. Do some of my good friends do that with me? Well, it happens. It's unfortunate where they do not seem to reciprocate what I'm giving to them all of the time. But it took some of my closest friends to say to me, listen, Tim, you got to understand something. I've never met anyone like you before. You are an Energizer bunny. I mean, here I am, and I'll get into this in a later podcast, but I've lost now, I'm down 86 pounds since Christmas, and I haven't skipped a beat. I'm not tired at all. I wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock. I am fired up. I am ready to take on the world. When I have bad days now, I mean, yesterday was as bad as it gets. The day at school was really, really tough. And then at night, the situation with my tire was atrocious. And the only thing that saved my night was the final few hours of my night and things I did then. And the people who I interacted with for the final hours of my night were just fantastic. They were amazing, amazing people. But I didn't have a good day. I just didn't have a good day. And even still, I was able to still not take it out on other people. I think that's another thing with retaining friendships. I would get really angry, and I would take out my frustrations on the other person who didn't do anything wrong. And you have to be careful with that, because some people are not interested in hearing you complain nonstop about X, Y, and Z. So I think that that's really key. Do we have any more questions, other types of things? I really, oh my goodness, I want to echo what Rebecca's saying. We are in control of our own lives. You cannot forget that. You control you. Don't ever let anybody else control you. I had a student that came up to me, broke my heart, told me about her mom and the fact that her mom was controlling her and saying everything that she should be doing. I'm not talking about chores. I'm not talking about basic responsibilities. I'm talking about life decisions and saying, you're going to do this. No. Right now, while you're under their roof, you need to do their things that are in place. But darn it, when you're out on your own, you can make your decisions. You can make your own decisions for yourself right now in your brain. Nobody can take control of your mind. You are responsible for your own actions and decisions, as Rebecca just said. You're responsible for you. I say it all the time to my students. Some of my students this week, they messed up badly. They really, really messed up. How many of them did I discipline severely? None. How many of them could I? A lot. They messed up. It happens. We're human. You're responsible for your own actions and decisions. They do it again, it's going to be a different story. So when you're dealing with your friends, same type of thing. And one other thing with friendships, and this is why I don't like texting, this is why I don't like putting things in writing at all. Don't put anything in writing that's going to come back and bite you. Don't put it in writing. Anything that could potentially come back and bite you. If it's the slightest bit controversial, something that's going to upset a person, don't put it in writing. Say it to them. Say it to their face. Say it over the phone. If you're a FaceTimer type of person, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm sorry. I know. I'm a terrible person. I'm anti-iPhone. Look away. I'm looking away. Okay. Don't judge. Don't judge. Okay. But the truth is, though, if you have something that's really, really important, you need to say it directly to the person. Don't be texting it. Because again, it can come back and it can go against you. And Rebecca, I'm so glad that you tell your daughters. We can only hope that they will learn. Let's see if we have this. Anything else? From Let's Do This. I love that name. I love that name. That name screams positive energy. I love your name. How can I approach someone without backing down? I think about that one for a second. How can I approach someone without backing down? I think you should go with what your namesake is. Let's do this. Go for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Somebody's going to laugh at you? Perfect stranger? Who cares? How many times? I have a really, really good friend of mine. And there are people who are very, very close to her who worry about being judged. And she's put in this awkward position because she doesn't really care about how she's judged. But these people who are important in her life do. And it's difficult because I think she feels like she has to do that. And I think that's wrong. I think it's very, very wrong. I think you need to just be yourself. And if you go up to a perfect stranger and you say hello and they don't say anything to you, well, you go on to the next person. Who got hurt? No one got hurt. It doesn't matter. If someone decides they don't want to come up to me because my hair is really wacky and I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it, well, that's the way it goes. I mean, whatever. But I know in the end, I know I'm being friendly to the person. I'm at the point in my life, I'm not being a jerk to a person. And a person who I would potentially be a jerk to, I'm not even being a jerk to them because that jerk does not deserve the time of day for me. They can go get it from someone else and take their negative energy elsewhere. I'm not interested. So yeah, our weekly therapy session. Yeah, that's good. That's cool stuff. And yes, I did actually, it is confirmed, and you can put this in the books. I'm not putting it in writing, but I can say it in the podcast episode that I will definitely be pursuing a degree in counseling in the future. I don't know how soon in the future, but that's positively happening. I had extensive discussions with a lot of people about it. Many people have told me about my ability to counsel other people and to be there for others. And that's something that I do plan on doing down the road because I am always looking to better myself and be able to help other people out. And I want to be able to have all that terminology in front of me so I can use that jargon and be able to diagnose people appropriately. Whereas right now, my teaching type of position, there's only so much help I'm really able to provide. I can facilitate and be able to perhaps help people to open up a little bit. But when it comes to that, it has to be left to the professionals. And I certainly want to become one of those professionals. So that's certainly something that I'm going to consider doing. Looks like I think we're just about out of questions here. I do think that we're getting kind of close to, all right, here we go. Flyby. Whoop, there it goes. Yep. So we're getting a little close to that. I don't know. Something that came out of nowhere. I don't know where. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Oh, there it goes again. Okay. All right. So it looks like I think we're at that point of the night. Gift card time. Yes, we are going to be giving away some gift cards right now. We have, if you were not here at the beginning of the episode and you missed out on that, we have our Panorama. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the Panera gift card. This is worth 10 buckaroos, so $10 for this Panera gift card we'll be giving away. This is the designated Amazon gift card that is going to be worth $10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the $10 one, and we're putting the $10 one over here. Okay, so the $10 one goes over there. And then we're going to take this one over here. Dun, 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 dun. No, it's not the same. No, I didn't go underneath. Proof. There it is. That's right, two of them. Okay. This will be the $15 one. So we're going to throw that one over here. But it is gift card time. And again, whoever that llama person was, our 300 subscriber, yes, true facts. Facts, as my students say. Facts. You got yourself a $10 Amazon gift card for doing nothing more than just being the 300 subscriber. And we need to, wait, hold on. Like check. Did you like the episode already? Did you like the episode? Did you enjoy this time that we all had together? Please give a thumbs up. Please do that. All right. And please, when I'm all done with the gift cards tonight, if you can do me a huge favor, stick around for just a moment. I want to talk to you a little more about next week's podcast and give you the information right here from the horse's mouth, so you have everything available to you. There are some colleagues of mine. I'm not going to say who they are, but there are some people who are in the chat, some people I know extremely well who are in the chat who I'm not going to be seeing in the next week. I'm not going to run into them, so they may only get the information from here. So we're going to do that after the gift cards, talk about next week's podcast episode. There'll be the live one. Please check out episode 268. I'm going to get you the link right now. I'm going to make life super easy for you. So then as soon as we're all done here, you can just take that 268 link and you can just smack that 268 link in. Where did you go? I know you're here. Where are you, 268? There you are. I found you. Okay, we're going to paste you right into the chat. All right, so this is episode 268. I really like it. Really like this episode a lot. I did this past week with my students. Episode 268 is all about concert preparation for students and their families. Okay, concert preparation. What are the things that the students need to do? Not the things that the music teachers need to do or the teachers need to do for events. Okay, these are the things that the teachers need to prep the students for, prep the families for. I really think you're going to get a lot out of that episode. If you're a parent yourself, you're planning on being a parent, you know parents, you need to take that episode and you have got to pass it along to other people. Share it on other sites. Invaluable information in there that you're going to be able to get a lot out of. Okay, here we go. So we have 3 people who have won these gift cards. My question for you. Now, the way we do gift cards is always... Thank you, Rebecca. So nice. The way we do things, as always, is we're going to be announcing them from the lowest denomination to the highest denomination. We will be starting then tonight. We're actually going to start with the Amazon gift card. Whoops, got to get the right one. Dun, dun, dun. This is the $10 Amazon gift card. What I need to know right now from Alice. Can you please tell me? You gave me 3 names, and remember, the names are done randomly. They're selected randomly, which means all you have to do is be a subscriber. You have to have said at least something in the chat. The more that you chat, the more involved you are, the more chatting you do, the greater your chances are. It's kind of like the lottery. It's like you're buying more tickets. Every single time that you type something, we put it into our random generator here. It's the amazing technology we have with us. Who am I drawing first? That's what I need to know. Can you text me? Who am I drawing first? It's a $10 gift card, and my arm is getting tired. Come on now. I'm on my spring break. Okay? Guys, got to get a little bit of rest here. I am eating less than a bird every single day. I'm getting my supplements. Don't worry. Everything's being done in a healthy way. But I have a gym waiting for me right now where I'm going to be doing the whole walking thing tonight, a little bit of biking. All right, help me out. Still waiting here. I don't know if you heard me, Alice. Okay. That's who the first one's going to be. Is that our first one? Just give me a nice big yes if that's going to be our first one. Okay, and I guess that's our second one. And then our third one. Okay, the proud, the amazing owner of this new limited edition. Well, it's not limited, but I think it's cool because it also comes with a congrats card. Winner of the $10 Amazon gift card is, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, please. Natalie Rojas. Congratulations to Natalie. Natalie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations. You have won yourself this fine, attractive looking $10 Amazon gift card. So spend it well, enjoy. And I will tell you, couldn't happen to a nicer person. So congratulations to Natalie. We now have, coming from below, here it is. Yep. Whoop. Yep. Nope. Yeah, the problem is that I keep on dunking it into the broccoli cheese soup, the broccoli cheddar soup. How many of you like that broccoli cheddar soup? Give me some type of a thumbs up or something for that broccoli cheddar soup. How great is that broccoli cheddar soup? It is a little bit pricey. The gift card may only cover that soup and a little bit more, but you know what though? Still, there you go. Okay, yeah, it is. I'm gonna keep on saying that it's not that bad for you. Okay, all right, here we go. Panera gift card, $10 Panera gift card going to Let's do this. Let's do this. Congratulations, a $10 Panera gift card. Compliments of the Panera in Secaucus. That is where all the malls are in Secaucus. So please support them. I've been to so many Paneras. Absolutely the best Panera I have ever been to. Just spot on, outstanding customer service. They support the schools. They support this podcast. I can't give enough props to them. They're outstanding. Congratulations. Let's do this. Of course, you can do this or take this gift card and present it anywhere to any Panera Bread. And now, from the other side, it's true. The $15 Amazon gift card. Here it is. Congrats. Who's it going to be? Congrats. Here we go. Here we go. We need one more big drum roll. There we go. Rebecca's coming in there. Thank you very much. A little more creativity here. A little more creativity. All right. We'll get you that information in a minute. Natalie. Oh, I love the mac and cheese too. I'm addicted to the mac and cheese and I can't have it right now. But we're back to an Amazon gift card. Here we go. Here we go. Amazon gift card. $15 Amazon gift card going to tonight. Rebecca Scales. Oh my goodness, this is overdue. She has been chatting so much, and I have no control over what gets chosen, who gets chosen, all that stuff. But Rebecca, this is your big week, and we give you this $15 gift card for just being a part of it and being the amazing person that you are. Congratulations to Natalie, to Let's Do This, to Rebecca, and to everyone out there for being a part of this. Now, please don't go away. First of all, most important thing, if you need to send me your information, actually, I need you to send me your information because I'd like to know you to tell me if you'd like me to send the gift card to you via email, or would you like me to send it to you as a hard copy? I'm happy to mail the card to you. Yeah, we still do that mailing thing. Or if you'd like me to hand it to you in person, whatever you would like. I can't hand it to you in person if you are 1,000 miles away from me. So sorry to anybody that may be the situation. But at any rate, though, please contact me at info@brasstenor.com. That will eventually be changing. We're in the process of obtaining the domains for getting it done. Yay! Which is really cool. I'm going to be having a massive website overhaul very, very soon. Please, could you do me a favor? And if you could go to my website this evening, and it is... website is very, very simple. It is gettingitdone.us. We do not own the .com yet. We will soon, but we own the .us. So check that one out. Check out my website, and please, I would appreciate comments, any type of feedback. Remember, Getting It Done is also on Facebook. You can contact me there. You can email me at any time, or I should say email me, but you can even just message me on Facebook. Anybody is welcome to do that anytime. That's an open forum. Obviously, please keep it appropriate. That's especially for the younger people who are in here. But I want to talk about next week's episode because it's a very, very big deal. If you scroll all the way to the top, you're going to notice we have Kyle Dubiel. Kyle Dubiel is going to be joining us. It's true. We are going to be doing a live podcast next week, our first live interview. It's going to be 7 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be interviewing Kyle. Kyle, he is a filmmaker. He is a director. He is a photographer. He is outstanding at all of these things. If you need someone for wedding videography, he is your man. And I'm going to tell you what makes him so special. You're going to see he is affable. He's fun loving. He is so easy to work with. He's the person you want doing these types of things. And I can't thank him enough. He came to one of my recent gigs that I had with my cover band, 10 Till 2. I've got to give them a nice big shout out tonight, 10 Till 2. Please check out the 10 Till 2 performances channel. And 10 Till 2 performances, you can even type in 10 Till 2 demo. And you can hear our band. We're going to be releasing another new one very, very soon. But we performed, not last performance, not last Saturday, but previous Saturday. Kyle showed up out of nowhere. Totally shocked us. If you go on his page, you'll even see a 10 Till 2 video in there. He took all different types of pictures. Yours truly is in there. And but Kyle is a recent graduate of NYU. He's only 22 years young. He did his internship at Saturday Night Live. Yes, the Saturday Night Live. He really works there. And no, he has no intentions of going to Hollywood anytime soon. He's staying right here in the New York City area because he is proof that people can make it in filmmaking and still be in this area. So please tune in next week. Where's it going to be held? You think it's going to be on this set? We're not going to be on this set. We're going to be somewhere else. You know where we're going to be? I don't know yet because I am currently trying to figure out a restaurant, a cafe who would be interested in hosting us. I don't want to reveal any places yet. As soon as I know, you will know. Will you be able to come? Absolutely. You'll be able to show up. You'll be able to be involved in the podcast. You'll be able to be directly involved. If you're there on site, you know what? I'll put you on camera. Not a problem. If you're under 18, the only thing that will be involved there is I will have to obviously get some type of a waiver. I will have to get some type of parental consent because I can't put people on who are under the age of 18 unless I do have that type of consent. So if you are interested, you're under the age of 18 and you would like to be part of the podcast, I would just have to have that information in order for you to be right there live on the camera. You can have that opportunity to do that. So that'll be great. I am so excited for next week's episode. We're going to spend an hour. Please check out the following episode, 161. Oh, that's right. Not 261. 161. This was an episode that Kyle and I produced. We did a very impromptu interview. I'm going to provide that link for you right now. Should have it. Here we go. This is through iTunes. So if you are only a PC person or you only use Android devices, I don't know. Actually, I think you can still listen to it, even though it's iTunes. But this is the direct link. This is episode 161. Okay, episode 161. If you click on that, you can listen to Kyle and I. We get along so well. Former student of mine since the age of 9, 13 years later. It's been a thrill watching him grow up and become the amazing person he is. So we went a little bit long tonight. You know why? I don't have any work tomorrow. I felt like doing it. You guys deserve it. You are the best. You are what makes this special. Pass along the information to others. And please, most important thing, subscribe, get other people to be involved, be creative, send separate messages to people so we can continue to spread the message. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever it takes to get people involved. Thank you so much. I thank you. And peace.